Alright guys, sometimes you make a video or you see an article and then I make a video and you just can't quite fathom it. And you think to yourself, really? Wow. Pretty mad. Pretty mad. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has cost nearly $600 million. I mean, that is insane. Right? Like, that is actually insane. Never ceases to amaze me actually just how much is spent on these films. It's truly beyond belief. Kind of speechless, actually. But also not surprised. Weirdly, because I know that these films have just become just insane. Absolutely insane. Behemoths. Just weighing these studios down. And I think what's more annoying about this is we only know how much this film cost because they shot it in predominantly the UK, which means they got about a quarter of that money back. Good times. It's my tax money going to use. Yay. Super lame. So, yeah, I mean, not surprised, but still speechless. Shall we take a look? Let's take a look. Loads of people are always really... They sort of scoff and balk at these kind of figures being released. This is official filings, tax filings. Now, we could get into whether there is tax fraud going on. Well, I mean, we could. I'm not going to. But just to acknowledge that there is the potential chance that clearly there's tax fraud that could be happening. Embellishments of receipts, all of this kind of stuff, right? I get it. I understand. And could Disney be doing that to generate a higher proportion of kickback from the UK government? Yes. Like, 100% they could. I don't deny that. I don't deny that at all. But as it says, this is on Forbes, by the way, so not exactly your average lump of crap mainstream media outlet. They're pretty good, all right? But as it says, Disney has today, which was yesterday, so the 13th of October, I'm recording this on the 14th of October 2025. Disney has today revealed that the total cost of 2019 Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, that's my Emperor impression, came to $593.7 million, making it the third most expensive movie in history at the moment. That's mental. So the cost of the production company behind the third installment of the sci-fi saga rose by $10.1 million last year, putting its total within a hair's breadth of the £452 million spent on Disney's first Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. So it too only just trails behind Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion cost £453.6 million. So about $600 million. Like, how? I mean, that is mental, isn't it? Jurassic World Dominion was poop. Like, proper poop. They say, like, money equates to quality, right? Or you get what you pay for. And that's true of a lot of things. Definitely not true of movies. It is definitely not true of movies. As much as it's true of a hell of a lot of things in life, it ain't true about movies. Remarkably, despite its staggering cost, The Rise of Skywalker, don't worry, I'm not going to do the impression again, came in under budget. Under budget. They wanted to spend more than that initially. And there's no doubt about that. Like the last three Jurassic World films, Disney's Star Wars trilogy was made in the United Kingdom, which shines a spotlight on its costs. So just as a quick breakdown for those that haven't watched one of these videos before, the budgets of the movies made in the United States are usually a secret, but the stuff in the UK is not. Studios filming in the UK get a reimbursement of up to 25.5%, but that's increased recently So it wasn't that when The Rise of Skywalker was being shot. It was 24% or thereabouts. It was increased. Of the money they spend in the country, provided that at least 10% of the movie's core costs are incurred there. In order to demonstrate this to the authorities, studios set up separate companies to produce each film in the UK, and they are obliged to file legally binding financial statements. So, as with all the UK companies, these filings are released in stages, long after the period they relate to, and the process starts during pre-production and continues long after the premiere. And there's good reason for this. It is revealed in the 2018 financial statements for the production company behind the Star Wars spin-off Rogue One, which state that, quote, the company was involved in paying the ongoing production costs in relation to the film, even though it was released 2 years earlier. In short, the financial statements are compiled in stages over a long period of time in order to give the production team time to ensure that all the bills are paid. Mental. Sauce. The filings are a goldmine of financial information as they reveal everything from the production's overall cost and level of reimbursement right down to the headcount, salaries, social security payments to staff, everything. And also, of course, what the movie cost. So, the production company behind The Rise of Skywalker state that by March 2019, 1 month after filming wrapped, the movie was, quote, in line with the budget. However, post-production costs was less than expected, and by the end of the year, less than 2 weeks of the movie after the movie debuted, it was below the production budget. I mean, that is mental. Although the reason for this isn't certain, it coincided with the editing of the movie, which took less time than usual. And this came to light in an interview on the Rough Cut podcast with the Rise of Skywalker's editors, Marianne Brando, who admitted that the latter stages of the production schedule were accelerated, which affected everything. So she estimated that the crew had 3 months less to work on the film. That's a lot. 3 months less to work on it. So the reason for the tight timing was that Disney insisted on sticking to the movie's December release date rather than delaying it, which would have increased the post-production time and therefore the cost. Makes sense. Reshoots are planned as well, blah, blah, blah. All this kind of normal nonsense. So, just to clarify, for Disney, the reduced reshoots and accelerated post-production process was a force for good. If the movie had cost more to make, it would have reduced the studio's profit. Calculating that requires knowledge of the amount Disney spent on the movie and the amount it generated from it. Disney banked $103.8 million reimbursement for The Rise of Skywalker, reducing its net spending on the picture to $489.9 million. Its returns largely come from its share of the movie's $1 billion at the box office. So the amount theatres pay to studios is known in the trade as a rental fee, and an indication of the typical level comes from film industry consultant Stephen Follows, who interviewed about 1,000 film professionals, 1,200 or so, and it's about 49%, about 50%. So that's why we say 50% share. So about 50-50 split. So that would give Disney $538.5 million from The Rise of Skywalker and a $48.6 million profit at the box office. It's not great, is it? That's it's not great. $1 billion and they only made 50 million. It's not great. It's not great cost to reward ratio, is it? We'll invest $1 billion. And what will we get from that? 50. Okay then. That's mental. But yes, that it does say, you know, you can generate lots of stuff from merchandising and things like that. Sure. That's still pretty bad though. And that's not marketing budget either. They haven't factored in the marketing budget yet. Can you stop it now, please? Thank you. At least I'm not Hassan Piker. So, based on the marketing, I don't think it probably made any money. But there you go. Hilarious, right? Hilarious. Nearly $600 million. All to actually probably make nothing. Wow. False economy right there.